Welcome in to the blockchain basement, folks. Congratulations. Bitcoin officially has hit a new all-time high last night. We have further confirmation that it looks like Jerome Powell is getting ready to actually resign, something that is unprecedented. Pressures are coming from places we never even expected, and know that is not a sexual innuendo. And my God, it looks like alt season is real. It's boiling up. We're getting ready for that hyper risk environment as these pressures come down on Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, and really the governments at large are acknowledging not just Bitcoin, but the larger ecosystem within crypto. This is a crazy time to be alive. We're going to talk about all this and more on today's show. I have a crash out zone, and honestly, we're not going to play a special video I had put in the background. I mean, Isaac, what's the level we need to hit on likes for this thing, man?
We need to hit. Let's see how many people we have in here so far. It's pretty bad. We need 106 likes. 106
okay, 106 likes. All right.
And then we'll play this video. Okay. We'll reiterate this here in a little bit while more people start getting in. Yeah. But as of right now, we need that 106 likes to play this diabolical video.
Yeah. Take what Isaac's saying as serious, man. It's a doozy. So it's 106 likes it is. Also, shout out to the chat here. You guys are the most active, badass chat in crypto YouTube out there. You guys appreciate your support every single day. Coming to the show, checking out the offer. We got Papa Guth with his wet anticipation. Kyle Watts, Indie Halo, Slim Cheeses, the Deadwood, DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Mr. Veteran Crypto himself. Sorry, I can't join you on the show after this. I'm going to be doing deadlifts today. Leg day yesterday. I'm in danger. Flip a Frank, Jacques. Jeff R. MCO, good morning, brother. And Laserface, my man, Mr. Mark Ben Simmons. Drew Gayhart. Are we still hype on Ondo? I still hold Ondo. I got some actual stats, not just hype on Ondo today. I'm going to go over on the show today. Isaac sounds sauced, according to Jay. Good morning, brother.
Fair enough.
Psychedelic astronaut. All the people, man. All the people, you know. And, it's been quite an experience running the show. I am learning to forgive. I'm learning an immense amount of life lessons from TJ and DC. And Isaac, I mean, you know, I'm not learning much from you, but I feel like actually I am learning much from. What have you
learned from me? No, that's a great question, because I don't think you've learned anything from me.
I have learned that my actions have reverberating repercussions. Now, if those are good or bad, that's up to me to put the good stuff out there. And I think, you know, since I met you, you've become a giga Chad, basically. You know what I mean? Like, and we started hitting the gym every single day, and now you're going into the military. You're bettering yourself, and you know, like if you would have came to me a year ago, I'm like, I'm going to join the military. I'm like, Pah. Now I'm like, I can totally see it happen.
Yeah,
I could totally see it happening. So, you know, just your actions have consequences. To think about that, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm learning to be a more forgiving person in this world. Learning to be a more forgiving person. Now let's say, and the people like the hats. I mean, you know, I like me my Frankie. I like me my Frankie candles. He's great. Isaac, you weren't there like years ago. You know, I was kind of in your, like, I knew what crypto was. I was investing, but I wasn't actively trading. My desk was next to Frankie, and that guy is insane. Now, he talks a little too fast, and I'll tell him that, but he is extremely good at his craft. So just another great resource, great part of the fam here. Shout out to Mr. Frankie Candles, and shout out to the chat here. Let's get into all the stories here. I want to go to just make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. Also follow Isaac. We got Isaac Does Crypto at Isaac Does Crypto on Twitter. He is, man, I can't wait to get your call-ins from overseas.
From overseas, yeah, I know it's gonna be great.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to pull it off or not.
No, I'll be able to pull it off.
All right. I love it, baby. I love it. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel here. We're just under 80,000 subscribers right now. It's crazy times. We're hitting very, very high levels on Bitcoin. Here is how the landscape looks for us right now. $111,766 per Bitcoin right now. absolutely going nuts. SWE breaking nicely above $3. We have Hyperliquid cooking up, trying to get to the mid $40 per token level. Tau trying to cook to the mid 300s. Pepe waking up like the savage it is. And Bonk trying to come back and reclaim some of those losses we were looking at yesterday from Bonk. XLM, a little bit of a shave off on XLM, but it's been running. But things are looking very, very tasty. Now, some of the crazier parts about this is on the year. This is crypto bubbles on the year. XRP, if you bought the lows on XRP, like the lowest points it was, you're up nearly 5x. Virtuals has done 5,400% increase over the course of the year. SPX 6,900, 9,000%. And Aave 249% XLM. But there is a lot of room for these alts. I'm telling you guys, like even vaporware will pump to a degree. So if you've been sitting on altcoins that you're feeling, oh God, it is vaporware. It's now understood that this thing is useless. If we see an alt season really start to kick off, which dare I have mentioned, we are starting to see the weekly print this red candle, nice thick red candle, while the Bitcoin price has been expanding and is trying to break out and go into price discovery. And we did officially hit that all-time high yesterday, just above $112,000. We're starting to get to that front door. Oh, I'm getting a hug right now. Hi, honey. How you doing? Oh, God. All right, go get some food, honey. Okay. All right, I love you. Bye. God, she's cute. Love you too. Oh, you're welcome. Oh. Yeah. Some people are so poor, all they have is money, folks. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. Now, Bitcoin is knocking on the door of this next Fibonacci zone. God, she got me all choked up. Jesus. All right. So where we're at now is we are starting to try to fight our way through this next Fib zone at 1.618 to 2.618. And, you know, yes, this has been extended / I wouldn't say diminished, but things are very, very institutionally controlled, in my opinion. These ranges are much more institutionally controlled and stair-steppy compared to the last bull market. Last bull market, it was like, hold on to your hat. You can't stop looking at the chart. Things are going to go nuts. Tension super high as you're going all the way on up to the, you know, the top zone of this fib, where we did make it last cycle. This cycle has been kind of interesting. Ever since those ETFs got released, like we knew the ETFs were coming here. This is quite a big consolidation range in comparison to last cycles. This one, we hit the all-time high before we had ever hit it before, and it lasted nearly a year, 250 days of just toiling in purgatory. Even though we're at previous all-time highs, this is where retail got taken out of the equation. The interest, the people that didn't have the fortitude or bandwidth to keep paying attention to crypto lost the plot right in this zone. Then we zip up to all-time highs for the inauguration, and now we are once again trying to build that movement into price discovery. Absolutely crazy. And now as we're doing this, it is so important to note that Bitcoin dominance is falling, you guys. This is we have 3 red weekly candles in a row, and this is the concept I've been trying to teach, is that Bitcoin's price doesn't have to go down as this falls. This means that the aggregate crypto market is expanding faster than Bitcoin's expanding. And I'm not surprised at all. We have some great stories to be checking out today on why this is happening. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Altcoins 1 to 2 months better. Genius Maximus. Yes, absolutely. And in the altcoin section, we're going to take a look at all of the main altcoins that we have time to look at. And so keep in mind what altcoins you want me to compare against Bitcoin to check out what the downward trend line looks on that altcoin and where you're going to run into major resistance in terms of say AVAX moving up against Bitcoin or Chainlink moving up against Bitcoin. Let me know what tokens you want me to look at so that you can use that as a roadmap to really know when Genius Maximus needs to be released into the Coliseum. So we got some words after the all-time high hit. Binance founder CZ, hope you bought the dip, baby. What a savage. What a savage. I want to know for the chat, did you buy the dip? Did you buy this recent dip? And it was, it was a momentary one. It was down to 97 in the middle of June. And then also we had that dip opportunity right here where we fell to $75,000 at the beginning of April. Please let me know if you bought the dip. If you didn't, I want to know either way. And I want to understand why you would not buy the dip. Maybe it's because you're out of dry powder. Maybe there is, need to produce money actively, IRL, right? I want to know. I earnestly want to know to see what kind of content I should focus on if people need to find ways to passively make money or if they need to sharpen their tools when it comes to buying the strong dips and knowing when those indicators are flashing and it's the right time to add on to the portfolio. Because right here, I don't want to toot my own horn, but here goes. The tools that I have put together have allowed me to use indicators and signals that gave me the signal to buy Morpho hand over fist, back up the truck at 87 cents. The tiniest of red that we see on this chart. Now we are at $1.63. We are literally 100% up. While there is no Altseason doesn't exist, but we're doubling our money if we get in at the right time. So let me know what you guys, we got no dry powder, run out of money. Okay, so we need to find some active passive income, DeFi crypto and airdrops. DeFi crypto and airdrops. I call it Morpho, but you got it already at work, and DeFi crypto and airdrops and veteran over there is actively earning more constantly. They don't like I trade, and trading is for some, DeFi is for others. I'm kind of going to be molding into both here, but there is a degree of TA that you need for actively making that money. And did we just hit new all-time highs again? Oh my God. Oh, baby. We just hit new all-time highs again live on the chat. +1 in the chat, you guys. Oh my God. We are at $112,500 just now as we're looking at this. I don't have any active trades on right now other than the spot holds that are absolutely printed. And this is where it's fun. It's like, when the market just starts moving in aggregate, then the spot holds are really, really doing good. I'm making a great amount of money right now just from seeing the markets roll back on up to the upside. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. This is wild. Now, this is gonna be very distracting here. Let's go check out the liquidation levels. It's good.
The liquidation levels are crazy.
Oh my God, a complete wipeout. Okay, we have shorts terrified.
Go to the 24-hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me reset it here and see what it looks like now. Oh no, everything was just sweeped.
Ooh, baby.
I didn't update mine. That was crazy.
Oh my God. Oh my lordy. This one sits at $112,800 right above our head. What is Bitcoin dominance doing as we are hitting these all-time highs? It is still falling. This is what Altseason looks like at the very beginnings. You see Bitcoin really, really starting to get to that breakout moment and just start to choose violence. Bitcoin dominance still going down. This is important to watch. DCA and Praise got it right. All I care about is Bitcoin dominance. Important to watch. Holy cow. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. And we're still going $112,600 as I'm speaking, all-time high after all-time highs being hit. This, whoo boy. And this, this is why I was just kind of, if you're scalping short, fine. But we were kicking on the door of this price discovery yesterday. And now, boy, howdy, if the disbelief, and that's where the market is at right now, is complete disbelief. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. Shout out. Congratulations to everyone that's been watching this and working with us in the Discover Crypto chat, the Discord. It's been learning how to crypto, why to crypto. Wow. What a day. Now we got to check out some some general targets from this move here. So currently, all right, so we're at $112,500. Let's head on over to this graph. Now, as you know, I am a heavy money flow and kind of momentum indicator guy. And I've had these. This is the 190% move. This is the 90% move. And this is the last move we had, the last signal we had, print at $85,000. Conservatively, I was looking for a 60% pump from this latest signal on the green dot printing on the weekly to the downside, getting ready to clip to the upside again. This is where I restarted a lot of engines in terms of trading. And let's take a quick measurement to see where we're at. So at 32% of this move has now officially been completed. My low end expectations for this is about 60% at around $136. High end expectations for this current signal, this current move, is around the 90% mark at $163,000. So absolutely wild, you guys. Absolutely wild. This is crazy. Kelly's running through the office. He's celebrating. Dominance
that
still
scream
comes
was.
down. What's that, Isaac?
I said I heard that scream. I didn't know what was that. And then you said,
Hey, he's in a trade. He's up 68%. That's great.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. Printing money over here. So this is all on the heels. Trump came out, talked about tech stocks and industrial stocks on NASDAQ, hit all-time highs through the roof. NVIDIA up 47% since the Trump tariff scare. USA is taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, and the country is now back. A great credit. Fed should rapidly lower the interest rates to reflect this strength. The USA should be at the top of the list. No inflation. So Trump is highlighting this, mentioning crypto. Very, very interesting times. And this, we looked at this graph yesterday. I did an emergency show, great emergency show last night when we first broke out and hit that $112,050 range. Right as that happened, this came out. Trump announced a 50% tariff on Brazil, a major, major economy. I find it very, very healthy for our bags in Bitcoin. If while we broke this all-time high, we had a 50% tariff announcement from a major economy get released, and Bitcoin's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going higher. This is absolutely here. Jordan, shout out to you. Based alt season is already here for those of us with good entries. Absolutely agree with that, brother. You get crypto at the price that you deserve. Now, this is absolutely wild. $112,600. How I handle this in terms of trading. Let's go check out and see if we can get any short-term entry points, where those might be, because we are in uncharted territories, folks. We are in uncharted territories. I think the season is definitely up right now. 15-minute, also way up. Okay, so this moment right here, this 90, 100%, 100 realm, this is where I'd expect to see a red dot, a reconsolidation down, just for the moment being. Something that I am hopeful to see, and I've been talking about for quite some time, is looking for Bitcoin to essentially, and I might have to redraw my lines here. This is on the 15-minute. Let's go back to 4 hour. Okay, let's see here. So, and this is a whole old school chart. Is kind of zoomed in here. So this is the trend line we've been watching as of recent, right? And what I've been talking about for quite some time is this move, come blast above it, bounce off of it, and now we're starting to complete that. Where my general thesis goes is that over the course of Q4 of 25 or Q1 of 2026, we're going to land between $170,000 to $200,000 per token, way up there. In the short term, what I could see, something reasonable in a short-term kind of proving point would be checking out and making sure that $111,000 is that support spot, right? So that's something I'm keeping an eye out. But if these shorts and this disbelief keeps going on and people just refuse to acknowledge that the mega bull is here, this is going to keep going up. All right, so you saw those shorts kind of disappear just for a second here. This is so fun. On the short term, man, it's there. So yeah, and this is stacking up right around $111,300. So watching that. We need an AI video with hot dogs being tossed at him. Make it happen, guys. Are we choosing
Tossed at who?
Jerome Powell for that
Jerome
one?
Powell?
Yeah.
I can get that going real quick.
All right. You make it happen. Make it happen, Cap. And then Crypto Capo, is he still bearish? No, he's not. That's a lie. Hold on.
Fact check it, chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna live check this. There's no way this guy is still bear. He's still got the black swan pinned. Okay. My opinion, real capitulation hasn't even happened yet. Yo, no shit, Sherlock. BTC below 100K, BTC below 90, goes to 60 or 70. This is where he's looking for the bottom at $60,000 to $70,000. If this idea plays out, alts could drop 80%. I'm net short since late May, most altcoins, and adding more. Well, he is getting absolutely railed right now. There's no way that this guy's real. How could you be short? You see, he's short. Well, what's that?
He's rage baiting people.
Yeah, probably. Thanks, Crypto Cody, for dropping a membership. Alexander G, one of the main supporters of our channel, just picked that up. Thank you very much for that, Crypto Cody. Shout out to you. Total spot Bitcoin ETF volume surpassed $4 billion. Spot buys of Bitcoin on just the ETF side hit $4 billion today, but it gets crazier. BlackRock is buying more Ethereum than Bitcoin now.
Jesus.
That's tasty. That's tasty stuff. Now, $1.5 billion worth of the Bitcoin shorts we were just talking about are going to be liquidated if Bitcoin hits $120,000. This might be that short-term magnet that gets us up there. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Price still screaming to the upside. Absolutely wild. I am not trying to short this action. Not going to do it. I'm not trading with a tiny bag. I built this bag from like $400 like a year ago or something like that. And you know, I've had many seasons of win and clearing the house out to take the wins actively help my life with them. And now I won't go into it. You can see it. I mean, if I do the trade, it's 9 G's, so you really can apply yourself and get your bags up to the point where even a 5% move is absolutely fantastic. It's having patience, being willing to learn, and understanding that you make the money slowly and you protect it quickly. That's what trading, in my opinion, is all about. Patience, making the money slowly and protecting it quickly. Now, here's where retail is at. This is last night, Lux Algo highlighting where retail interest is in terms of search terms for Bitcoin, sitting at unprecedented lows while we are ripping to the upside. Absolutely crazy to see. And you know what? When I see this go on, it makes my heart hurt, but also I have to understand that the average person, 37% of the country could not afford a $500 expenditure that came up. So, retail is broke, man. And this is why we have to apply ourselves to find ways to actively earn money off of this market too, and show how to actively earn on this market. So look at this, just flatlining. Oh my God. Imagine seeing this crap and having no interest in what it is. Like, how in the world? This is the 4 hour. This is way too zoomed in.
We had
normies look at this on the week. What's that?
We had more interest at like 85.
Oh, 100%.
75K.
100%.
And now we're at $112,000.
Yeah.
Just hit all-time highs on live. And nobody gives a damn.
Well, they have unit bias, right? Because they see one Bitcoin's worth $112,000 and like, I'm priced out of it. I can't do it. They don't understand that you can buy Satoshis, and we should start calling them sats. We should start calling them bits. I really liked TJ's idea about that. You can pick up $5 worth of sats. You can pick up $10 worth of bits and just let those sit. These are portions of a Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not come like a ham from the grocery store where you can't cut it into pieces and purchase a piece of it. We have to start talking, and because people have unit bias right now, man. You know what I mean? They really do. So that's something I got to be cognizant of. You know, we're so used to talking about Bitcoin, you know, as a whole, but you absolutely can buy portions of it. Now, someone else that's buying portions of Bitcoin interested companies, Donald Trump Jr., who's got some explaining to do about all of his demands for the Epstein list. Hopefully he's asking his dad what's up. Bought 350,000 shares of Thumbs Up Media, which holds $2 million in Bitcoin, and plans to add 6 more cryptocurrencies. That's a key metric here, as we're seeing more and more companies open up to the idea of holding not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum, Solana, and many more altcoins in their treasuries. And this is part of the family's crypto treasury strategy. So they have a wider strategy of buying interest in these treasury-backed firms. And again, this morning, we're hitting new all-time highs. Literally this morning, Donald Trump announced a 50% tariff on copper, effective again August 1st. August 1st is when a lot of these tariffs are going into effect that we've heard about over the last week. After receiving a robust national security assessment, copper is necessary for semiconductors, aircraft, ships, ammunition, etc. And we are building many of these things. Copper is the second most used material by the Department of Defense. That's a crazy metric. Yes. Copper is the second most important material to the Department of Defense, Mr. Isaac. You can sound real smart. You start slinging that info around, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They'd be like, "Whoa, get this kid an upgrade." Why did our foolish leaders decimate this important industry? The 50% tariff will reverse the Biden administration's thoughtless behavior and stupidity. America will once again be a dominant force in the copper industry. This is, after all, our golden age. You know, copper has got some interesting attributes. I got copper coils that I wear, regulate frequencies. Maybe it's hoodoo, voodoo, juju, or maybe it's not, but I like wearing the stuff. It got rid of my headaches. They're called tensor rings. And when I worked in the HR construction, you know, handling superintendent industry, I was around lots. And I'm surrounded by screens right now. I have stuff all over that emits radio frequencies. These continuous copper coils been talked about that they regulate that frequency. All I know is I had migraines and I was puking every night on the way home, and now I don't. So I'm not a magician or a scientist, but I know the results that I've experienced for myself on it. So shout out to the companies out there making continuous coiled copper systems here. They're very good. Now, Bhutan and the mining to the UK reserves. The Bitcoin race is on. This is the United States compared to China in their Bitcoin reserves. Then comes the UK with 61,000. The Ukraine out of left field off the top ropes with 46,000. And then Bhutan beating out El Salvador. Bhutan is definitely a country to keep an eye on in terms of their Bitcoin holdings. I've seen a lot of integrations on a company scale out of Bhutan, not just over the course of the last week, but you know, they've been quietly accumulating in the background. So very, very interesting. Where's the $100 link? Hopefully we're going to take a look at that chart here. You know, seeing this wake up here, I will take a look at the chain link to Bitcoin chart and explain how that is absolutely still tangible here in a moment. ETH or Bitcoin in El Salvador's hands and the holdings are sitting at unrealized profit of nearly $400 million. Now that's coming into around $420 million. Good job on El Salvador for stacking while the rest of the world was laughing. Who is laughing now? Definitely Bukele on the top of that. So this is absolutely crazy. I'm getting a little hot, a little verklempt, you know, when we're hitting these all-time highs. Whew, God damn. Where are we at in terms of price? So $112,500 right now. Has a bunch of shorts hopped into the market. Let's check it out a little bit more to the upside. Bring it to 113.7. Very, very fast moving liquidation levels. Very, very fast. Very, very, very fast. This is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, this is a time where, you know, yeah, I'm a trader, but I like mapping out spots of support to enter those next trades in here. So this is going to be, I don't think I'll be able to get one live while we're breaking into this price discovery. Shorts are getting wrecked right now. Now we have U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno, educates former CFTC chair, this guy Timothy Mossad on Bitcoin after Mossad calls it a token.
Mr. Mossad, just for your sake, I just want to clarify a couple things that you said to make sure you meant to say what you said. Did you call Bitcoin a native token?
Yeah, it's often referred to as a native. In other words, Bitcoin and ETH are referred to as native tokens of
So
the
you're,
blockchain.
so you're saying Ether and Bitcoin are the same?
Well, I'm classifying both of them as what you call native tokens of the blockchain.
So you're saying that a native token is how you would describe Bitcoin. I just want to be clear of that.
It's a term that's used to describe when you have a blockchain
Uh-huh.
and you have the token that allows you to use that blockchain. That's often called a native token. Yes.
Got it. And therein lies exactly why we need to have this market structure regulation. Because the idea that we would turn over this industry to some bureaucrat working at some agency is insane. Because
I love this. Absolutely love this. He's got a great point. If you don't truly understand what it is you're regulating and we're handing that regulatory control over to you, that's absolutely nuts. We should call this guy Bernie Monero. I like him. Bernie Monero is his new name. Shout out to you, man. Now, this is something interesting I saw yesterday. Everyone chasing Ethereum rotation plays. It has been Bitcoin's week, but still the dominance fell down. We have Emirates now accepting Bitcoin for flights, Japanese banks offering Bitcoin reward cards, $48 billion in ETF inflows, 30% on spot volume, and Metaplanet hits $1.7 billion in Bitcoin reserves, passing Bhutan. A company out of Japan passed Bhutan in terms of its Bitcoin holdings, and 80% of the supply locked by holders. Absolutely crazy. Rotation on what exactly? I think AI XBT is just, this is a salty AI agent. Is this a human? Right? Let me ask you this. This seems a little bit human, Isaac. Do you think there's a human actually just running AI XBT, trying to like LARP as a AI agent?
No, but it's monitored
Yeah.
by human resources. Yes.
Maybe it was added, like the human added this portion at the bottom, right? It seems like a little bit of a emotional add-on. I was arguing with Grok all night last night. I was radicalizing Grok all night last night, like probably up till like 2 o'clock in the morning. It is what it is. I can't show you the conversation. It's way too much. Way too much. I get into usury, the Bengal starvation, all that stuff that's just been shoved under the rug of historians. Now,
we hit that like goal, by the way.
Did we really?
Video. Yeah, we did. We're at 109 likes right now. I say you play it. I want you to play it. I want to watch it for a third time. Okay.
Okay.
And I think
we're going in.
Need to.
You know what? Because like the next section is all the stuff happening with Jerome Powell, but I think you guys deserve it. We hit the like goal, and man, this is a deep cut. This is something that we can't let history forget about, and we're gonna go ahead and play that.
1.5 billion.
Well, now that's just insane.
These fucking vultures are trying to pluck my eyes out.
Have you talked to Rudy yet?
Rudy was the one who told me.
That's the price. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's 1.5. It's just what it is.
This is just, when big things move, all parties have to be mutually, well, it goes without saying, somebody is incredibly miffed you made that
Miffed?
deal.
My guys told me 150 million tops. If I can't get that shit out of those walls for less than 1.5 billion, I'm fakakta. You understand? I never should have listened to you.
I never told you to buy 2 towers of Babel filled with asbestos. Nothing in New York real estate is that easy. You weren't buying a fucking deli.
I don't have 1.5. I need that shit out of the walls, or I need those buildings
Which
gone.
I told you is never going to happen. The demolition will probably cost more than it did to build the fucking thing.
See? Fakakta. At this point, it costs less to get someone to fly fucking planes into the building and collect the insurance.
Oh God.
For that, you'd need terrorism insurance.
I will pause real quick. This guy is Larry Silverstein. All right, let's keep going here.
I'll call you back. Deborah.
I'm right here, sir.
Oh, I need you to find out what kind of terrorism insurance we've got on those piece of shit towers.
Mr. Vice President, I've got an interesting idea I'd like to propose to you.
Did somebody order a false flag operation?
Get him whatever he wants. I just want him to feel like he's part of the team. Just pull it already.
And then when France doesn't join, we're going to call them freedom fries.
So I found this fucking passport over there. It's kind of burnt up, but not too bad considering it came from a fucking plane crash. Am I right? And not for nothing, but I already checked it, and it's a fucking Saudi Arabian guy. It's definitely probably one of the terrorists, you know, because, well, I mean, fucking come on here.
Even enemies need to agree sometimes.
And if you call it the global war on terrorism, I mean, terrorism can be anywhere. So now you can fight everywhere. It's going to be great.
Lucky Larry Silverstein's preposterous plan. And you know,
So that
as I grew up through this time frame, learning that there was newly implemented terrorist insurance put on those buildings, going into the front end of mechanical engineering school, understanding when and how hot it needs to get for steel beams to melt, and then realizing that there is a $4.5 billion insurance payout for said occurrence, and then an open game on whoever you deem is a terrorist across the world, thus pushing the industrial military complex to levels we have never even dreamed of before 2001 happened. Absolutely insane. And now, just on the heels of that, Trump has resumed weapon shipments to Ukraine. Doesn't seem like that stuff's stopping right there. Does not seem like there's any stop to it. We have Britain and France, Europeans' sole nuclear powers, was signing a declaration to coordinate or coordinate their nuclear deterrence with the same aim of deterring threats like Russia. And we have Pete Hegseth hosting Netanyahu at the Pentagon today and said it was an honor for the U.S. to join Israel in the war against Iran. Isn't that just something, man? Absolutely crazy. This world knows no limits to psyops. I got plenty more insane stuff that's actually going to more directly affect us in our current day and age coming up here in a second. But man, I think that historical context matters a lot. And I fear that we're like over 20 years from that occurrence happening. And I don't want the next generation to forget what has been done, to forget that you literally cannot trust politicians. You just can't. You just can't. Now, we talked about this before. A hardcore move from Trump to now fire Jerome Powell or get him to resign. Mind you, Trump was the one that nominated Powell into the position that he's trying to get him out of now. Because Powell is keeping these interest rates at least 3 points too high, according to Donald Trump. A move that is costing U.S. nearly $400 billion each year. Trump argues that the high rates are harming the economy. What's harming the economy is the useless amount of commercial real estate that is dragging these banks that use it as debt for more money into the absolute depths of hell. While Fed insists that they are needing to manage the inflation and maintain stability. And we have Cynthia Loomis coming out calling for the federal chair, Jerome Powell, to resign as well. We have a lot of movements, but the most important player that in my opinion, the person that is driving the most tangible reason to make Jerome Powell resign is Pulte, the guy who leads the housing authority here in the United States in the financial kind of overscope of housing real estate in the U.S. And they're calling on those rate cuts. I think that Freddie Mae, what was it? It's like Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. I think they have a bigger pull than Trump or Cynthia Loomis do, because mind you, the real estate industry here in the United States is worth around $120 trillion, not 120 billion, not 120 million, $120 trillion. That is what the real estate industry is worth. So there is a lot of reason for them to cut rates and to keep the Ponzi system going at near zero, as close as they can go to zero, for as long as humanly possible. Whew. There it is. That's the devil in the details. Now, we're going to get into alt season now. We're going to take a look at why these beautiful, I want to check out the day real quick. Just really soak this in. Let's really soak this in. What the hell is this M thing? 46%. We might have to go check this out. Oh my God, is that? I was thinking about. Did I see Shake and Bake in here? We gotta find Nicole some shirts, Isaac. We gotta
We have,
find
like,
Nicole some
nothing,
shirts.
though.
What's that?
We have like absolutely nothing though.
Really?
I mean, we're on the getting rid of all the stuff. We're packing everything up over here, and the stuff we do have is all old.
Old stuff.
Yeah,
All right, all
like
right.
stuff people wouldn't want. But we'll look.
All right, I'll look again for Nicole Shake and Bake. I know she's asking about that, and it slipped my mind over the last week or two here. So let's get into alt season. Let's check out why we're looking at a sea of green right now. We have Coinbase partnering up with Perplexity AI to deliver real-time crypto market data to traders. I do want to learn about Perplexity. If anyone in the chat has any alpha on this, kind of an interesting play to see AI systems and their data management being integrated into Coinbase. And I want to learn as much as I can about this as it's rolling out. We have Tim Scott rolling out large frame of mind adoption at a government level for Bitcoin and blockchain technology in particular, talking about what digital assets are and if they're here to stay.
Because make no mistake, blockchain technology and digital assets are not going away. They are here to stay.
I like it. Mr. Scott. And I don't even care if he's a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care. I want Bitcoin and crypto should be bipartisan. We need bipartisan support to adopt crypto on a larger frame. I don't care. Like, let me know in the chat if he's a Democrat or Republican. This is Senator Tim Scott. So, give him a little shout here. I want to find out if this is a Democrat that's actually, a good, because I want to see more and more Democrats start to talk about Bitcoin in a positive manner. It's been so right leaning. You know what I mean? Is he a Republican? He is a we need to we need to orange pill more Democrats. How the hell are we going to accomplish that? I feel like it's damn near impossible these days. All right, now let's check this out. Major banks and governments are embracing blockchain and trade finance. XDC network, it's powering tokenized transparent transactions in a shift that could unlock trillions in global trade. This is kind of buzzwords, but XDC in and of itself has actually piqued my interest. I've watched it over the years, and I do believe the graph has not been that bad. But let's go into Coin Market Cap and let's confirm. I want to go check out XDC. And I can understand why a lot of people in the ISO realm, they want to have, I would say even just a chunk of ISO tokens probably isn't the worst thing in the world to have, as we're seeing, these governments really kind of wake up to the use case of these projects here. So XDC network, it is up today by 12%. There you go. 22% on the week. 12% on the months. You haven't missed too much on the monthly time frame, or the last few months rather. And on the year, it is indeed up 160%. Obviously, since inception, it's up thousands of percent, but not a bad looking graph at all. Not a bad looking graph at all. Shout out to that. Good job, XDC. Now, another shout out to Pengu, who is celebrating like some sort of, I've seen this guy before. This is like,
I don't remember, but
basketball.
That's college basketball, yeah, for North Carolina.
Oh, it's the Tar Heels.
Yeah.
See, all right. So I can't out myself for not watching college sports out here in Georgia. That's kind of dangerous, isn't it?
It can be. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't watch college.
I see the Georgia Bulldogs just everywhere. When I first moved to Georgia, I was like, what the like, it's a college team. I don't get it. Like, we have the CU Buffaloes in Colorado, and they were like, a decent team. We never really cared about them though, because we had the Broncos,
Yeah.
Broncos overshadowed everything. Maybe I should start watching college sports. And maybe I should start watching. I want to watch women's basketball. I've heard it's getting kind of lit lately.
Only because of Caitlin Clark. Okay, if you go on X and scroll down to where all the trending stuff, like trending for sports, is Caitlin Clark right now.
Really? Okay. Shout out to her. Well, shout out to Pengu. The SEC has acknowledged the filing for Canary's Spot Pengu ETF, a Solana-based meme coin. Good job. I still have my, Pengu assets. Let's grab this thing. I got these all over the place. This is my Boogaloo penguin. Kind of a fun game to play. I let my kids play it, you know. But Pengu has got this spot ETF being acknowledged now by the SEC. And yes, I hate myself for saying I should buy it. Maybe I should like a month ago or something like that. Let's go to the chart here because we are pumping hard. It is up 70% since I was like, maybe this is the bottom. Looks like it was a pretty good bottom. It's up 70% from that moment, still 66% down on the year. So a lot of people that, you know, held it and were kind of diamond handed from the very get-go are hurting for sure. But in the recent months here, this is starting to build the kind of a swooping pattern back up to the upside. So, you know, from a trading perspective, a technical perspective, this does not look like a bad chart to me. You know, what I see is just these, you know, kind of parabolic beginnings. And I can see a lot of people kind of getting out and just protecting themselves. You'll have some headwinds when you hit this old school volume node, which isn't shown here, but I know it's there. A lot of volume happened in this realm. This is where the Penguin, Pudgy Penguin NFT went up to $150,000 a NFT. And then the Pengu tokens were released to those NFT holders, and they absolutely dumped the NFT. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing recaptures these levels here, and that would be essentially from the spot it's at, another 77%. So, and that's diminished expectations for Pengu. Good job to Pengu. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much, because we have Van Eck. Look at this. Van Eck is the ultimate shill lord for Pengu. Van Eck is not a small company. This is not a small asset manager. To see them leave this this on there for months on end, and then now we get an ETF being released. Get ready for chaos, folks. Get ready for chaos. Now we have the DeFi investor, and this is more so for you know, maybe veteran at DeFi crypto and airdrops. He's talking about Huma as a PayFi network, Loopscale as a modular lending DApp, Bryos a liquid restaking protocol, RateX leveraged yield exchange, and Neutral Trade an on-chain hedge fund. Different areas where DeFi investor looks like he's starting to look at to farm airdrops for. So maybe pass on over to Mr. Jeff for me, veteran crypto DeFi investor. He's usually on some pretty good stuff early. Now, Robinhood has officially launched Ethereum and Solana staking in the United States. This just happened. This just happened right before we went live on the show here. We're seeing more and more institutional allowance of staking within the Ethereum and Solana ETFs. Now, this is the hyper juice I was talking about maybe a half year ago, is when we start to see staking be allowed within the Ethereum ecosystem on an ETF scale. That's where we get the stupid inflows. If institutions realize that they can earn massive yield bags off of holding Ethereum, this is the nitrous oxide that was untalked about. It was underreported, not by me, but by vast majority of crypto analysts, because they couldn't connect the dots that if Wall Street can stake Ethereum and earn heavier yield than they can on other options in Wall Street, where the fuck do you think they're going to go? Right. And that's probably why we see BlackRock now starting to shill Ethereum and get those inflows actually outpacing Bitcoin for the time being. We're going to have a look at this. This came out right before we went live here. BlackRock now buying more Ethereum than Bitcoin. It just bought $158 million worth of ETH while only buying $125 million in Bitcoin. Their ETH buys have been flipped. They have flipped their Bitcoin buys. So this is stuff to pay attention to, folks. This is stuff to pay attention to. It's painful to hold the asset while it's not popular, but you know what? That is when the right time to buy is. You buy it when it's low. You sell it when it's high. And WNBA loses $40 million a year? No way.
Jesus.
No way. Does he? Oh my God. Isaac, we need to fact check that. Is Bitcoin ripping again? Oh my God. We're about to hit $113,000, folks. We are about to hit $113,000. That is ridiculous, man. Absolutely pumping hard. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Now, shout out to my man, Jay Chains. He's just given a highlight to how much money is hitting real world assets. The market just hit new all-time highs as well in tokenized real-world assets at $25 billion. RWA tokens might be next, according to this post. And honestly, they are going to have a great day in the sun. As far as I'm concerned, I am positioned. I am ready. My body is ready, and I am excited, baby. Now, Arrow and Morpho being highlighted by Kyron. No BS crypto are the kind of combo plays that people realize too late, but not here on the basement. That's right, baby. I got you into the great times, the perfect times. Aerodrome at 18 cents, Morpho at 87 cents. What else could you ask for? Makes sense, given it's literally built on Coinbase. Aerodrome moves the liquidity and the built-in DEX for Coinbase, and Morpho scales lending by offering lending within the Coinbase app where people can hold their Bitcoin and get USDC to better their lives with, and or go play around in the altcoin sector. We saw it coming from a long ways away. We're positioned. I'm ready to go. Now, something else that I saw coming from a long way away is in 2014, I wrote a song about mass government quarantines and shutdown of global economies. Now we have this. The US FDA has granted full approval of Moderna's mRNA COVID-19 injection for children aged 6 months to 11 years. Not going to happen over my dead body. That's all I got to say about that. Now, 6 Secret Service agents have been suspended following allegations of misconduct related to the attempted assassination of President Trump. We're seeing, I wonder what the details of the misconduct are, but they have been suspended over this. Obviously, if it's just a slap on the wrist, probably a little misstep, probably an oversight. If they did something nefarious that was found, I'm sure that there would be, be put in jail. Oh my God, are we over $13,000? Oh my God, guys, this is absolutely crazy. Holy cow. This is wow. This is absolutely wow. $113,000 right there. $113,000 just happened. We are absolutely going ballistic right now. So crazy. This is so crazy that retail's asleep while this is happening, dude. I'm proud of you guys. Happy for us that we hold crypto. It's just, I always feel the drive to wake people up and get them into crypto before this type of stuff goes down. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is wild. So we got more stuff to cover here. We got 2,000 senior NASA officials are preparing to resign. That's absolutely nuts. Maybe there's a shift more into SpaceX, but things haven't been really going very much, in the side of NASA. It's been kind of shifted towards SpaceX. That's where I see most of this development happening. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And who remembers? Do you remember Ben Askren, Isaac? Do you remember that?
Not.
Ben Askren was this UFC fighter. He was trolling, a bunch of people, and he's a pretty good fighter, but he lost a couple fights at the later end of his career there in fighting. His wife announced that he received a double lung transplant. The crazy part about this, his insurance denied him the transplant, but a donor paid for the procedure, which would have cost up to $2 million. This is absolutely crazy that the insurance would deny him this. And, for me, my insurance, I have like the Ferrari of insurance. It's, underwritten. It's, they really scoped. I have never even used the hospital for like anything. I have like no risk, and they still don't even cover me. They don't even cover me. So I'm, of course, prayers for Ben Askren, but then I go and I see this highlight from what is this? This is from the Liz variant. It's a story about a guy who utilized emergency services for his daughter, and this is how they scam us. This is how they're scamming us all. I might cancel my medical insurance, honestly.
How can I help you? So I think there's a mistake on the bill, but maybe you could help me out. We got a bill. And then we realized that you guys didn't have our insurance. So we sent you the insurance, and it looks like the bill went up.
It went up?
Yeah, the first bill we got without the insurance was $600, and then the second one was almost $1,300.
Okay. Yeah, so that the first invoice you received, that's a discount that you receive if you're uninsured. So you're not eligible for the discount since you are insured.
So you're not eligible for the discount if you are insured. They don't just, they rise it by over 110%. You go from $600 to $1,300. If you don't have, if you do have healthcare, you're punished. And this is why, like, I pay out the bunger every month for great healthcare. And I've gone, like, when I got food poisoning, Isaac, you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was like the first time I had been to the hospital in 2 decades, honestly, dude. Like, and I go in there, you know, they take my blood, make sure that I'm not dying, and then they gave me some nausea medicine. And when I talk to my insurance agency, they're like, any doctor visit, any medication, any of these things, they're going to be covered. And I was really trying to, I went through like 6 different agents. I was trying my hardest to actually find a healthcare that would cover the cost if something actually would occur. What I found is it's a scam. I got a bill, even though I pay out the bunger for healthcare to be there every month, I still get a bill. It's absolutely insane. I'm just gonna cancel it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna cancel it. It's completely useless. Now we have an Italian candy maker, Ferrero, nearing a $3 billion deal to buy cereal giant WK Kellogg. Now, this is interesting to me because Italian candy maker Ferrero might have, let's go do this. Let's do this. Let's go to Grok. Does utilize I want to find out what kind of ingredients. Use ingredients that are allowed to be sold in the UK, because they have way better food standards than we have in the United States, and I'm hoping that they strict, okay, including government safety. Okay, so yeah, they're having to fall within the UK food regulations. I'm hoping that they can expand those to the larger Kellogg brand here in the United States. Now, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. You can see by my hair. I mean, look at my hair. Look at that. Look at, let's get a full shot of it. Look at this. We are absolutely ripping right now. This is crazy. $113,000. $113,000. Let's go check the bag of alt interests that we have here on the show. I can like feel the air wisping through my hair. Bitcoin's only up 3%, and we're at $113,000, by the way. We're at 3.3%. I told you we were a sneeze away from all-time highs. Now, where we're at here, let's look at the biggest winner. Morpho still cooking $1.65. Moonwell back at entry point. Oh, yay. Avalanche, please, for the love of God, hit $20. Jesus. Ondo, 5.9%. Still under $1. I want to go check out Chainlink. We're nearing $15 on Chainlink. That's a good feeling right there. All right. Now, in terms of Chainlink and how the hell it could hit $100, this matters. I told you guys I was going to look at this at the end of the show. We're nearly there, and this is my roadmap from my Chainlink bag here. Let's go there. So this is the link to BTC chart on TradingView. This is a very important chart if you are holding altcoins to have, and especially your main ones. So what I do expect to see in this next round of bullish interest in altcoins, even though Chainlink is indeed trending very low and to the right against Bitcoin, every time we have one of these alt seasons, you end up with these momentary interest pumps, right? And this is like a half-life one. I think the next one we're going to experience is going to go and tap its head against this trend line. And this is going to be against the backdrop of $150,000, $170,000 plus Bitcoin. Thus, we have room to run against Bitcoin from where we stand right now by up to 113%, in my conservative opinion. Now, if we run by 113% against Bitcoin, while Bitcoin is reaching $120,000, $130,000, $140,000, that's where you get your $100 Chainlink. This is because the market cap of these altcoins is so immensely smaller than Bitcoin. The market cap of Bitcoin is at $2.2 trillion. When you go down to where Chainlink's at, 9 bill. Way different situation. Way different situation. Stellar, 9 billion. If you have a sneeze of interest into the top 100 in altcoins, that's where you get the stupid moves, the historical moves that we all know come and go so quickly. So when they do come, you better go just as quickly yourself here. So keep these linked to BTC charts in mind. Keep the AVAX to BTC charts in mind. Keep all this stuff in your head, in front of your eyes. Stay up to date with this. Drew, will you announce this in Discord when I'll hit that trend line? 100%. 100%, Wispy. I absolutely will. You are not going to be able to get away from my announcements about altcoins hitting these trend lines. If you are in the Discord, trade with us in the Discord. We have the Discover Investments Discord, the link down in the description. You can use LBank user ID to get in literally for free. You can use a Blowfin user ID to get in literally for free. And you know what? If you want to support us by utilizing the access points that we have for Bitcoin IRA, make sure to give Bitcoin IRA a call. Let them know the Blockchain Basement sent you. Call 877-936-7175. Again, 877-936-7175. Tell them the Blockchain Basement sent you, and they'll tell you all about the tax housing, the tax haven that you can find within a IRA or a Roth IRA, and also take advantage of our 20% off on cold storage devices. This is an Arculus cold storage device. Comes in this badass case. You get your metal card, you get your recovery phrase sheet, and it is very, very easy to use. This is something that, some of my loved ones still use the Ledger. I'm going to be slowly transitioning them, not into a Decepticon, but into an Arculus cold storage wallet, because it's much, much easier to use for people that aren't crypto native. So, woo, what a show here today. Absolutely breaking that glass ceiling like Hillary Clinton always wanted us to. We had $113,400 live on air. Absolutely crazy. Much love for you guys. You held on. You stayed involved. You stayed interested. And boy, howdy, it is paying off. I love you guys. Dizzy Gang, Flipper Frank, DJ Flexa, Peter John Laram, Nick Dunn, Sufficient Enough, Stevie Crypto, DCA and Pray Crypto, Cody, Jeff. Yes, like Clinton always wanted us to. We have broken that glass ceiling, boys and girls. Shake and Bake, tell Nicole I'm going to be going there and looking for something I can get her in terms of our shirts. Maybe I'll collect them and see if I can do like a gift, a drop or something. Maybe you guys, I'll figure out some kind of competitions or stuff like that we can do to get those out of here. So love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care.